Yes, 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 yes. Well, we were talking about earlier. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, okay. Flu shots it is. Danny, flu shots?
Mm-hmm.
We've been...
I got offered a free flu shot because I'm so old the other day.
You got offered a free one? Wayne got offered a free flu shot because he's so old.
Well, I got a free flu shot because I work in a clinic, so it's kind of mandatory for us because if we don't get a flu shot and we call in sick with flu, then they get very unhappy with us.
Well, yeah,
because we all know we're going to be exposed. So,
Yeah.
In fact, I think it was the first one in my clinic to get the flu shot because I am so pro flu shot. I'm like all over that dude. Give it to me now. We got him in. I'm not waiting till next Friday. I want mine now.
Well, Wink would not.
No, I won't have it.
He won't have it because he's frightened of needles. So he's just like, it's only since I've known him that anyone's ever been able to find out even what blood type he is because he's refused. That's his worst thing is having blood actually drawn.
Oh, really? See, blood draws don't
him.
bother me, but I don't like shots very much because I always feel like they're going to hit the bone. I feel like they're going to hit the bone. Don't hit the bone, whatever you do, don't hit the bone.
Yeah, I know what you mean. What? Sorry, darling?
Yeah. I've got the chop saw on the way.
Okay, just stick the pizza in there. Excellent, excellent. We're going to feed 3 teenage boys.
That sounds like fun.
And Wink's talking about fish and chips and McDonald's. Like he's obviously the opposite of me. So
it's Linda. Linda made it. It seems like Linda always shows up for part 2. I don't know why she can't get the message for part 1. Well, I don't know. We didn't put a message out. That's why. Welcome, Linda.
We didn't. We just thought we would. We just thought we'd do it. That's all. We just thought we'd do it. So we had 34, 38 people on. They're all just spotting us now. The numbers are going up. We've now got 20 on, which is fantastic. We chatted a lot about flu shots earlier. I'm going to have my flu shot because my doctor advocate here, patient advocate, Dr. Gilmore here, has said that I should have one. Excellent. And he's got a British hat on. That's an English...
where's your ball cap, I must say?
Gentleman's cap, that is.
Well, I had to get another one since the other one blew off my head when we were out on the bay last weekend. And some new sunglasses. The new ones I got, they've got the mirrors on them too, so that'll help with that glare.
Ooh. Oh, that's what they're for. They're not there for being super cool then. It's
No. They are super cool, but no, that's not why. And I have no idea why I'm not out fishing today. I don't know how this happened. I thought it was probably going to be cold and wretched again, and so I didn't. I should be on the bay right now. Why am I not on the bay, I ask you?
I don't know.
I do not have an answer to that question.
You said you thought you wanted... You wanted to take some time off from fishing. It's just, I have never heard
that was ridiculous. Who let me get away with that?
My hobby. I need a break from playing with toys and having fun.
Yeah, right.
Somebody save me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so there's people, they're coming on, talking about pneumonia shots as well. And we were talking about, before we were talking about, sticking to the plant-based diet and how difficult it can be. And I think if you're buying your own food from your own supermarket and you're putting it in your own fridge, I think it's easy. But if you eat out a lot, I think it's definitely easier in the UK than it is in Texas and Vegas, because they're the 2 American places I've been to since being a vegan. And very difficult to get anything nutritious. It's difficult just to find a vegetable in a restaurant. Just very difficult. You'd ask for a portion of vegetables and you'd be like, what? I thought it was everything supersized in America. What is this half a stem of broccoli, this little microscopic bit of greenery doing? And you'd say, I'd just, not a garnish, just kind of have like a big salad on oh yes, ma'am, no problem, ma'am. And they would come and it would be like that big. And you'd be like,
right.
Oh, that wouldn't feed a caterpillar, let alone me, Right. So it is, I think it is more difficult out there. But I think if you're doing the shopping, and a lot of ladies do the shopping for the household, I
beg your pardon?
Well, a lot of ladies do. Do you do the shopping, Jack?
No.
Okay.
I occasionally do swing by and get what I want because I know that if I don't, there'll be nothing for me. Unless Abby has gone along with the shopping, then there'll be some vegan things.
There'll be some vegan things. I hope the DW isn't listening.
I've got to get into the veggie section to get my tomatoes.
Your tomatoes. Oh, that was very
English.
Tomatoes. Yep. Lovely, hey, what? Super.
Yeah.
Lovely. In fact, your tomatoes were particularly lovely, I have to say. Most lovely tomatoes I've had all year.
And they're all dead. Yeah, that frost that we got the other day killed just about everything except the pepper plant, which seems to still be happy. I don't know why.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, it was time. It's November, so...
You should be able to grow some more. Yeah,
I will.
Laurie grew up on a farm, so it was farm to table, healthy natural foods. Nobody was overweight. Do you know what? Whenever I watch something that was shot in the 60s, 1960s London, even 1970s London, there were no fat people, no people that were overweight. Everybody was just like your average human being shape, like that diagram in your doctor's surgery with all the muscles and everything, and everyone's kind of like a proper body shape, like how we were supposed to be.
Right.
So back in the 60s and the 70s, we didn't have TV dinners. We didn't have processed foods. I think the fish finger had just been invented. I don't know if you have fish fingers in the States. Do you have fish fingers?
We call them fish sticks.
Fish sticks, right. Fish sticks.
Fish sticks.
You have fish sticks in the States.
I'm believing you're making fun of my accent now.
No, I'm not.
I detected a little sarcasm in that fish sticks.
But no, I was trying to say it right because I got so much grief for saying pecan wrong.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, and even when I said pecan, Wink's come in, he's trying to say it right as well. Because I got a lot of stick for that in Texas, and then I said it on a video afterwards, and I had a load of comments about that wasn't how to say pecan. Pecan. Is it pecan? Pecan. Okay, so I'm not making fun, I'm just trying to say it right. You have fish sticks, we have fish fingers. And that was actually one of the first fast foods that came out. One of the first foods that the British housewife could put in the oven or under the grill and serve to her family, like out of a packet. And it just got worse and worse from there on in. And when we've got more trouble with all sorts of diseases that we spoke of, type 2 diabetes being like an epidemic, just everywhere. And children as well. And that's the thing that gets me. I watched some children walk to Finian School, and one of them looks like, he's just like, he looks about 70 because of the way he walks, because he's so overweight. He's just waddling around, and his big stomach is hanging over his school trousers like a man that likes his beer too much and has got a giant beer belly. And this child is in year 7, which is like the first year of secondary school. So he would be
that's awful.
10.
That really is awful. That breaks my heart because that's a parental issue.
Yes, it is. That child, anything that happens to a kid is the parent's fault. Once you get to 18, it's on you. So you're in charge of yourself then. You need to sort yourself out. But, it's the food that is being eaten and served and also given in really good faith that's supposed to be healthy. My son is now banging on the floor of his bedroom to alert me to the fact that a pizza hasn't arrived yet. I know, it's crazy.
So, I got to tell you, we really love the Uber Eats application that we have here because there's a Chinese food restaurant that is not far from us, but really too far for me to jump in the car and drive over there, right?
Yeah.
And they actually deliver, we've calculated this out, they will actually deliver a Chinese meal to us for less money that would cost us to drive over and get it. Now, I don't know how Uber does this, and I don't think it's sustainable, but I'm taking advantage of it. But we actually have the capability to order a what appears to be vegan meal from them, and we'll type in, "No animal products, please. We are strict vegans." And they do a great job of answering those questions to us. So, Yeah, so
Excellent.
there's a lot of delivery that you can get right. So it doesn't have to be pizza. Do you guys have the Uber Eats over there?
I haven't heard of it, so I don't know. If any of my UK lovelies know about that, just put a comment up so I can answer that, because I haven't heard of it. We're just having pizzas because it's pretty much the only thing that Finian will eat that we can produce that his friends want to eat. So we've got 3 boys to consider today, and it's part of their thing. They have some pizza, and they look at computers all day long and have a bit of a laugh, as they do. So do we have Uber Eats in the UK? Anybody know? They're talking about flu shots. 2 flu shots, upset stomach.
Okay, so we got an interesting message from our friend Potter64. She said there are 272 restaurants with vegan options in Houston. Houston is 600 square miles. You can take the city of Boston, the city of San Francisco, and I think you can take Chicago, and you can take all of the square mileage of all those 3 cities and all those people, and you can put them in our city. That's how big Houston is, all right? And that there are only 272 restaurants with a vegan option out of over 25,000 restaurants that we have here tells you how deplorable the situation really is. And of those 272 restaurants with vegan options, a lot of them you go into and you find out they don't really have a vegan option. It's just something on the menu that they don't really serve it very often, or don't serve anymore. I've been into restaurants before that had vegan options and told that wasn't available at that particular time. So then I have to say, okay, well, you and I are going to work up something vegan. So I want you, what vegetables do you have back there? We're going to do a little stir fry. You're going to stir it up for me and just cook it and bring it out and charge me what you think is fair. But there you go. So, I mean, the fact that there are only 272 restaurants in 600 square miles of city with over 25,000 restaurants is just awful, awful, awful. No, that wasn't a point against you at all, Potter. That was just, yeah, there are some options out there, and I am able to go out and occasionally eat something that is vegan, but I'm just saying it's not easy. It's not automatic. This is a form of deliberate eating. You have to be deliberately on top of what you're going to eat, and you have to be ready to eat things that you don't enjoy as much, because otherwise everything is meat. And I walk into a restaurant and sit down, and there may be 5 pages on the menu, and if you're lucky, there's one small thing somewhere that says vegetarian. And then you can find out why it's a vegetarian, and maybe you can convert it to something that might be vegan. That's the unfortunate truth of the matter.
Yay, right. Well, it's not yay for you. But I've just seen a message from Maureen saying she had no problem with the fast.
Good.
How did everyone get on with their fasts on Thursday? Did anyone else do the fast? I managed, because I got off the line with you guys and I was chapping away to Debs and talking to other people. So I didn't actually go to bed till 3:30 in the morning. So I managed to get up at 7 and not eat anything all the way through to 3 o'clock in the morning the next day. Triple hard. I was feeling really good about that. Maureen had no problem at all. In fact, I'm actually looking forward to Thursday.
Monday
even, yeah. Monday. So I'm actually looking forward to it, to doing the next fast, because I thought it was great. I had a few problems when I started eating again, which was the Friday, and we talked about this earlier, didn't we, Jack, about probably what had caused it. Mm-hmm. But in the morning I had a couple of satsumas and a banana, and then I had a vegan protein shake with a little bit of peanut butter in it and some raw cacao, so like a liquid Snicker, only healthy. And that was fantastic. Had my detox tea, which I drink all the time anyway. And then I went to Noreen's funeral, and the food was all like tuna sandwiches, chicken sandwiches, beef sandwiches, this, that, and the other, cheese, and basically there wasn't anything that was plant-based except for the crisps. So I did have some alcohol, but we decided that wasn't the thing. And I ate a load, like potato chips, you call them in the States, crisps. And you said that was because I basically consumed loads and loads of oil. So I'd eaten something. I don't normally even eat crisps. I eat quinoa chips, but I only get these occasionally. You know, maybe I'll have one bag a month in the house. So I just so happen to have been shopping recently.
Well, we talked earlier, too, for those who like to have what we call chips on this side of the pond, there are baked vegetable chips that are healthy, that have very little or no oil, that are made from other products other than potato that are actually quite tasty. They are a little bit more expensive, but if you like that crispy, crunchy taste and you like them as a snack and you want to work those into your diet, they are available. Try the Whole Foods stores. You can get it at some of the larger like Kroger's and H-E-B's and those kinds of things here in Texas.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you can always find alternatives. I have somebody on here. I already eat 90% plant-based and will continue to eat meat and cheese for 10% in diabetic portions. I will not fast. Okay, that's Laurie. This is all totally your own decision. It's just that what we have found and the medical evidence that, Dr. Gilmore has, we just want to help people look and move and feel better, because that's how we found it. I
think it's interesting that you have a person who's saying they will not fast. And I'm really curious. I mean, I respect their decision, but I'm curious as to why they feel that way. Do they feel it's unsafe? Do they just don't like the feeling of not eating? Do they have a food addiction to where if they go longer than a few hours without a meal, they don't feel well, they begin to feel withdrawal symptoms? I'd be very curious to know that.
Yeah, why is that? It would be good if you could share that. Somebody else said, Laurie. Dr. Gilmore's thoughts on preservatives. This is the same person. Preservatives and additives in all the food and the sedentary lifestyle of the youth. Well, yeah. Obviously, being sedentary is not a good idea. I think we all know that. And preservatives keep foods from making us sick. It is one of those trade-off things. Would I prefer to have a food that didn't have preservatives, that had been organically and naturally produced? The answer is yes, but if I stick with a whole food plant-based diet, I don't have this problem. I just have to go to the grocery store 3 times a week instead of once a week. So I'm not opening things out of cans and that kind of stuff very often, although I do sometimes. I would much rather slice up some bell peppers and tomatoes and onions and do a quick stir fry. Maybe open a can then and put some navy beans or some black beans or something in there. Obviously, if the problem's not preservatives, guys. Come on, we know this isn't the problem. We're not saying that preservatives are awesome or anything. They probably keep a lot of people healthy that otherwise wouldn't be. Ideally, we would eat fresh fruits and vegetables. Yeah, ideally we would. So Laurie, I think, who was saying that she will not fast and she 10% of her diet is cheese, meat, and meat.
So she's not a vegan or even a vegetarian.
But no, in diabetic portions, she says. And then later she says, she asked about the preservatives, and then she's saying insulin D, she said. Does that mean anything to you? So she may be a diabetic. Are you a diabetic, Laurie? Insulin diabetics have a hard time fasting for 24 hours. Right, there you go. That's the reason.
Right, there's some people that shouldn't fast. There are 3 categories of persons that really shouldn't fast. 1, if you're pregnant, you shouldn't fast. 2, if you have an eating disorder. If you have a history of bulimia or other anorexia, for example, don't fast. It's not the right thing. And 3, if you're an insulin-dependent diabetic, you shouldn't fast without close medical supervision. Okay? That's
right.
And we're talking about a type 1 diet. I'm not talking about the type 2 diabetics that they're adding a little insulin on. That's different. I'm talking about a true type 1 diabetic who is wholly dependent on exogenous insulin because their body doesn't make any of it.
Right. I hope that explains things, Laurie. And if you've got those 3 things there and you think actually if that's the reason that you won't fast, then I hope that's giving you some help there.
Right.
Right. Yeah, Linda said she didn't think diabetics were able to fast. But type
2 diabetics can certainly fast.
Type 2 can fast, okay? Fresh fruit will affect...
95% of diabetics are type 2 diabetics.
Okay, so...
Only 5% of diabetics are insulin-dependent type 1.
Yeah, Wink's dad is a type 1 diabetic.
Okay, so he's wholly on insulin.
Yeah, he's
there you go.
For years and years and years and years.
The type 2 diabetic that's on 3 oral medications and then they've added a little basal insulin control, they're not a type 1 diabetic. They can fast.
So, you know what I found out today? Because my lovely neighbour who passed away, her great niece and I met yesterday, and she's a vegan as well. So we chatted the hind leg off a donkey for hours yesterday. And she wanted to come in and meet the pigs and do some belly scratching and stuff. And what I didn't realise is that I think it will be 3 years, it's nearly 3 years since we first got Wilson. And Noreen was a great lover of bacon. And from the moment we got Wilson, she decided that she wouldn't eat bacon anymore. She couldn't bring herself to eat any pork anymore. But she carried on buying bacon for a bit, but she didn't eat it, which we all had a laugh about. I think it was probably because, I don't know why, but she didn't eat bacon again. And we didn't know that. She never told us that. Oh, no, I couldn't do. Oh, I couldn't do. And, oh, not with those pigs next door. So I just thought that was a funny thing that I would drop in there because we thought it was quite funny, didn't we, darling?
What's that?
I was talking about Noreen saying that we found out today that Noreen had stopped eating bacon when we got Wilson.
I didn't know that.
Did you? Were you not listening?
Well, pretty well I wasn't out here.
Oh yeah, Wink wasn't there for all of it. He was picking up Finion's friends, who are still hungry upstairs, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. We're not very good hosts for our child's friends, are we? Because
I bought them all food.
Wink bought them all food.
Only Finian, probably.
Right. Well, it's probably all of them, actually, because they're big strapping lads up in that room.
Well, you know what I'd say if you weren't on air?
Yeah, I know what you did. Darling, but you're making a guitar and I'm doing this. The choices are limited. Husband is never going to get... But do you know, it doesn't matter if your husband's never going to give up meat, Christy. You need to do what you would like to do. And that's the thing, because this is your life. It's your body. You have to live in it. You don't live in Tennessee. You don't live in your rural town. You don't live in a house. You live inside your body, your brain, all your thoughts. They're all in here, aren't they? Just behind our eyes. All of our thoughts and feelings. And they're all encased in this body. It's the body where we live, you know. So if you choose, you know, I know loads of people who are like, one of Wink's best friends is give me a McDonald's any day. And his wife has been a vegan for about 15 years and does yoga and all of this. And he's totally not that kind of kettle of fish. But, you know, we're all responsible for our own bodies, and you know, we're all grown-ups and we're all allowed to make our own decisions. And if you want to make a change, you know, just try it. You know, you can do anything for one day, okay? Anything. And then you did it that day. So you can do it the next day, you know, and you can do it that day. And then you can do anyone can do anything for 30 days. 30 days, gosh, in a whole lifetime, 30 days is a drop in the ocean. Just see how you feel. You know, the willpower, you know, 21 days to make a habit. And I think it was Nancy that actually popped that up on, I don't know whether it was on this feed. Right, Maureen saying she's a diabetic and she did the fast. Okay, you can do anything you put your mind to. Okay, and if it's something that you don't want to do, then that's absolutely fine. Someone said that she wasn't going to do the vegan thing and she feels totally left out. Who was that? I'm really sorry, sweetheart, that you do. But this.
Why? I'm curious. Again, I'm curious. Why is this a different person? Why
This
wouldn't
was
they
a
eat
different
more?
person that said,
How about instead of going vegan, how about if they agree to reduce their diet by animal products 1 meal a day? Maybe they just make an improvement. Maybe instead of going completely vegan, they decide that from now on going forward for breakfast, they're not going to eat animal products. Maybe they just take the first little step.
yeah. How about
You don't
that?
how about that?
How about that? Yeah.
What would be wrong with that?
Yeah, and how about taking processed refined sugars, gluten, and all that kind of, all those kind of corn sugars and all that of that out of your diet, because that's a lot more healthy. Adding more fruits and vegetables will be fantastic.
Let's admit it. We all start somewhere, right? I mean, some of us I started very extreme. I started out with a 7-day fast. I didn't eat for 7 days. I was determined but I don't recommend people do that. But for me, that's how I wanted to get started, and that's what I did. And then when I started eating again, the question was going to be, well, what am I going to eat now? What am I going to do that's going to be different? And that's when I really started figuring all this out. So, what I can tell you is I have a lot of patients that, we've talked about this, and they're working, on fasting twice a week, and not all of them are successful at first. Some of them can't even get through the first day. But they do it again the next time, and they get a little bit further, and they get a little bit better, and they're getting a little bit healthier. Find some place that's comfortable for you to start, and then just continue to work on it, improve, and you will become healthier. And so don't say, well, I just can't eat that way, I'm not even going to try. Give yourself an opportunity to become healthier by doing what your mama used to tell you: eat more fruits and vegetables. Eat your vegetables. That's what we're saying here, folks. This all boils down to, we're telling you, eat your vegetables. And as simple as it is, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Because we're asking you to eat your vegetables and not eat that giant double-decker cheeseburger or whatever you want to call it, or that steak, or pork chops tonight, and don't load up a piece of bread with a whole bunch of butter and put cheese on everything. I mean, we're telling you don't have to do this to yourself, and you can be a lot healthier. That's what we're saying. We're saying you have options. And we realize this is not easy for everyone, and not everyone gets the same results. But we are saying is we do know that if hundreds of thousands of people begin to make the decision to eat healthier and eat whole food plant-based, you would see your choices in the restaurants and the grocery stores dramatically change, because they would begin to adapt to what people want. And that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that we can actually make a difference in people's lives and make people healthier, or help people be healthier, by teaching them that they can make different choices and they can demand what they want to eat. And those restaurants and grocery stores, they're all in business to do one thing, and that is to satisfy the consumer, and that's us. Yeah,
absolutely. Somebody's put veganery. Veganery is a great motivation in January. Kathy was saying she was going to be signing off now. She says, I will never be a vegan, and she's not overweight nor a diabetic. She says, I'm 65, and I'm not going to change now. But that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
I have patients that are in their 70s. They've been smoking cigarettes since they were 20, and they don't want to quit, and I'm not going to beat them up about it.
No, absolutely not. This isn't.
It's everybody's decision as to what they do. Our message is there is an alternative, and you don't have to just eat what you find at every restaurant, and you don't have to eat meat at every meal. And the message that's out there that you need meat for protein is simply a lie. It's not true.
Yeah.
Arliss says you don't mind giving up meat, but Greek yogurt you love. Well, that's your decision. Too much protein.
Yeah.
Right.
Who have we got? We've got Beverly says she's a type 2 diabetic and she fasts twice a week, and she has done since March.
Marvelous.
What's your BG? Just check my BG. What's BG?
Blood glucose.
Right, okay. Oh, she just checks her blood glucose to make sure she's...
Right.
Right, okay.
Ask her if she's lost weight.
Have you lost weight, Beverly? Yeah, Bonnie's just said it's a personal choice. I'm 65 and I'm on board. So it is a personal choice, and there's no, nobody's wrong. Nobody's pointing any fingers. It's just a lot of people wanted to know how I got all my energy, and we just healthy is the new happy, and it's absolutely is true. And a lot of people aren't happy with where their health is, and they want to be more healthy. And that, we've got all these people on board. We've got 28 on now. We had 40 earlier, and you weren't even expecting us to come on today. So this is why we're doing this, because we absolutely know we can make a difference to people's lives. If you feel healthier, it just makes a difference. It just makes a difference. Right. What about toddlers and children? What should they eat? They should eat a healthy diet. They shouldn't be eating a load of ready meals and stuff. Make the food themselves. Make your food for them yourselves.
So when you have a baby and and the baby's been weaned and we're off of breast milk, the first thing everybody wants to do is start giving them cow's milk, right? Which we know can lead to type 1 diabetes, right? We know that it's not healthy for the children. So now what medical science and doctors are doing is we're saying, well, keep them on the breast longer, right? But when you get your Gerber's baby food, do you get pureed liver or do you get peas? The answer is probably peas. See, we start out right, and then somewhere along the way we start adding these animal products in that are not necessary.
Yeah, we do.
You can get a completely healthy, whole food, plant-based diet and not include animal products. It's not necessary. It never has been.
That is really, you're right. We puree carrots, don't we?
Right.
And then we, like some ground rice. And then we try them on a little bit of banana. And, oh my goodness, because my sister's recently had a baby, so she's doing all that at the moment. So yeah, it is. It's the first thing you give your kids that's really good. They don't say give them some chicken liver pate, do they?
Right. They don't say get home and get that first steak chopped up really small because they don't have teeth yet. But we got to start getting that protein in right away. And if you think about it, it doesn't make any sense at all. You don't need animal products for growth, and we grow more in those first few years of life than we do at any other time. Right? With more brain development, more physical growth, more all of the neurological things that happen. We don't need animal products, okay? You do not need them. So there's a lot of people out there getting the message, you have to eat meat for protein. That is a lie. That is a bold-faced advertising campaign lie. You do not need them. If you want to eat them, knock yourself out. But let me tell you what, you don't need them. Don't believe that you need them. Eat them because you like them. That's fine. Eat them because, for whatever reason, they taste good. Whatever you want. But don't believe that you have to have that to be healthy. And in fact, it's just the opposite. The more animal products you eat, the less healthier you're going to be. That has been proven over and over and over again. Go read the China study. Go read Proteinaholic. And there are other books. There's lots of stuff. Go watch the movie. There's a video called Forks Over Knives. Go watch it. There have been people trying to prove the China study is incorrectly done. Every one of those attempts have been debunked. The China study is the world's largest epidemiological study. The doctor, T. Colin Campbell, who was behind that, is in his 80s and he's walking around. His son's a fireman. Oh, I think that's his son. I may be thinking of Esselstyn's kid. But anyway, these guys, Dr. Esselstyn and Dr. Campbell, they're in their 80s. They're still touring, and they're walking around, and they feel fantastic, and they only eat fruits and vegetables, and they'll probably tell you that the flag still gets to the top of the flag post. You decide what that means. But I'm telling you, these guys are healthy, and I'm telling you, they did it because they made significant changes in their diet, and they proved It all started out with a big study that was done in the Philippines, why these rich Filipino children were all getting cancer. They were all getting liver cancer, and they couldn't figure out why. And they went into the poor areas where the children were, malnourished. None of them were getting liver cancer. And they came back and said, it's all the animal products you're eating. So they proved it was caused by this rich diet they were consuming. Look, there's lots of research. There are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of articles that prove everything we're saying is true. You don't have to have animal products to be healthy. You do not have to give them to children. End of story. There's no debate here. This is not up for debate. You will be healthier. You will be healthier. The less that you eat that comes from animals, the healthier you will be. Period. And that is a fact. That is a scientific fact. It's been proven over and over again.
There you go. That it's not about save the animals. It's not about joining the vegan movement. It's about looking, moving, and feeling better. And Beverly has come back 32 pounds she's lost with the fasting twice a week since March. Remember you asked a minute ago?
Yeah, 32 pounds. There you go.
Susan is saying she really appreciates the both of us taking our precious time to speak to everyone. And Mrs. O thanks you for your answer about what to feed children. Is the second pizza in yet, sweetheart?
Yeah.
Excellent. Just checking, because I know you get carried away down that man cave of yours. With Sue having had a wound, any suggestions on diets for all those with wound care?
Yeah, eat a whole food plant-based diet.
There you go.
Tracy Cook asked, Dr. G, can you give us a day? The life of a vegan's diet. How do you get what you need? Look, it's a lot easier for you to go get some of these great books that are out there. Vegan diets. You can find them online. You can find, I believe, Forks Over Knives. There is a recipe book. If you like to cook, if you want to cook, then there are great vegan recipe books that are out there. I don't particularly care to cook. I don't have the time for it. I'm not interested in it. I'm only interested in food as nutrition now. So for me, I just chop up fresh vegetables and I eat them. That's it. I have a couple of pieces of Dave's Killer Bread for breakfast and maybe a banana or an apple for lunch. I look for a whole grain salad. I put a vinaigrette, or if I'm smarter and I've got some, I put balsamic vinegar on it. But I don't put any animal products. I don't put cheese on it. I get lots of tomatoes and carrot slices and of course lettuce. You get romaine or iceberg or whatever you like. It doesn't matter. And peppers and mix that up and eat a big salad. And then for evening when you get home, then you might have a little more fun in the kitchen. But I like to do a stir fry where I'll take my mushrooms and I'll take the spinach, the fresh spinach, and I'll take whatever's green peppers, bell peppers, tomatoes, purple onions, yellow onions, throw them in a big pan, and I like to add the grilling powders onto it, okay? Like you're going to grill a steak. I just take those same, it's got a little salt, it's got all these flavors and spices. I throw that in there, add about a quarter cup of water and let it cook down, and I get this fantastic, it tastes different every time, and it only takes a few minutes to do. And if I don't have time for that, then I get some Progresso lentil soup, and I'll put that in a pan, put that in a saucepan, and I might add like a half a can of peas and carrots, or a half a can of beans, navy beans, black beans, whatever, and I'll eat that. And then if I get hungry later and I want a snack, I might have some a little popcorn or something equivalent, more fruits and vegetables, eat a banana. Sue was here for a week. She probably ate 600 bananas. I mean, you just get out of the mindset that you have to go get a burger. And that's really the biggest thing you can do. And if you're a food addict like I am and you love to eat, then getting away from all this cooking for pleasure and eating just for sustenance, you're going to be healthier. And that's part of the reason why I do the fasting 2 days a week, because I have a problem with starches. I like to go back in and hit those starches again sometimes. So for me, the fasting helps keep me honest. It's keeping my weight down. It's keeping me healthy. So there you go. That's a life in my day, a day in my life. And if you want to do more, and if you like to cook, and I know some people just love to cook and they love to spend hours and make these delicious meals, there are lots of recipe books out there. Forks Over Knives has a recipe book that you can get right off of Amazon. And there are many, many others. So just look for them. They're out there. And if you guys have one that you like and you want to share it with everybody, well, the next time we're on, then please do, or let us know and we'll talk about them. Let's see. How Not to Die by Michael Greger. Porter 64 has talked about. I have heard about this one. I hear it's very good. I know Dr. Michael Greger has a big website and everything. Probably lots of great information. There are lots of vegan websites and places you can get info, and I doubt you'll get steered wrong anywhere in any of those places, because these are people that really do have your best interest at heart.
Okay, I've got from Mrs. O is saying, one more question. Should we guys eat everything organic? Now, I don't know what your view on organic is. I think organic is incredibly expensive and it's not in everybody's budget. I would say carrots and bananas taste 1,000,000,000% nicer if you buy organic. Lettuce, because I was thinking about this the other day. I wondered why we hadn't had that question. And things like lettuce, a friend of mine is a farmer. All lettuces, I mean, all vegetables are full of water, but lettuce is like 95% water. You can actually you can have a window box on your windowsill and you can grow like perpetual salad. So you can have fresh leaves if you're into your salads, or you want to put them in your sandwiches and stuff like that. What else is better? I mean, some things do taste better, and those are the two big things. I think cucumber as well is better if it's organic. But I don't know, if it's in your budget, I would love to buy stuff that you just pick off the trees and eat. But we don't have all of those trees in our country. What do you think about organic? What would you say on that, Jack?
Well, I like the idea of organic vegetables and fruits.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, a lot of people are afraid of the pesticides and the herbicides that are used. I think if you've got the budget for it, go for it. As far as I'm concerned, I could care less. I realize that those things do increase your risk of cancer, but we're talking about 0.0001% increase. Whereas just making the decision not to eat meat reduces your risk of those kinds of problems by, 10 or 15 or 20%. I mean, so don't let that be a reason not to eat whole food plant-based because you can't afford organic. Organic produce is 3 times the price in my grocery store. In the DW, she wants to get those. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm not spending all that. Just get me the regular ones. I don't care. I'll wash them a green pepper, a bell pepper is a bell pepper to me. And I like the yellow ones and I like the red ones and I like the green ones. But if I had a blindfold on, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference one from the other. A red, delicious looking bell pepper may be $1.50 for one. But I can get 3 giant bell peppers for the same $1.50, So I see no reason for all of that. I'm looking for sustenance. I'm looking for safe, nutritious vegetables, and that's about it. I think that if you really want to get into all this organic stuff, then there's a lot of pushback. Oh, this is expensive, and you can spend a lot of money doing that. Yeah. I frankly don't think it's necessary.
It can be really, really expensive. I tried a fruitarian diet in the summer, and I just couldn't believe how much money it costs. Because if you eat just fruit, you have to eat an awful lot of fruit to make sure that you're having enough calorie intake. And it is very, very expensive. I'm just, that's not in my budget at the moment. But, I try to grow my own. If you've all got backyards or whatever, you could, do you know what? You don't have to be, green fingers and all that. You just stick some stuff in the ground, and it's so exciting when you watch things grow as well. It's just so exciting. I could never get Wink or Finian interested in my vegetable garden. And when the snow brought the bird cage down this year and then the pigs just dug up everything else, I just thought, I kind of lost the heart to do it because it was way too much produce for me to eat. But I think I'm going to go back to that because I got so much pleasure out of it if I'm ever going to have time to do gardening again in the history of my life.
We're going to plant again this year too, so we're going to put in 3 more of the like that one that you saw that you got the spade off. We're going to get started a lot earlier in the springtime this year, this next spring, and I'm hoping that we'll grow lots and lots of good stuff because I really just got tremendous pleasure off of picking the vegetables right off of there and eating them, and you know I use when it's hot and I have to water, I use water right out of my fish pond, so I know it's got super nitrogen in it, and
yeah, my pigs are busy pooing away, and I'm putting all their poo in the corner, and then I dig it out 6 months later, and it's the most beautiful, rich smell soil. It turns into soil. It's just magic. Nature is just magical. You just go, I can't believe it. It's the blackest, most richest, most beautiful. Smell that. Right. I don't want to smell that. No, it doesn't smell like poo. Right. Smell it. Well, it just smells like soil. It's like, yes, we have made soil in our garden, and that's what we grow everything in. Or rather,
and to get back to the organic question, you can get organic milk, and is that healthy? Is it healthy at all? And I would tell you, it's not. It's, I mean, you're paying a lot more for milk that has come from a cow that probably hasn't gotten as many antibiotics or for whatever, however they make it organic, when that milk has to have a certain amount of pus or less to be safe. So they actually have an acceptable pus number that goes into every whatever container size of milk that this stuff is sold in, because where the contraptions that do the milking attach, there's a lot of irritation. They get infections. So you take the animals off the antibiotics, and they it's nasty. This is disgusting. And then we're going to drink this and we're going to call it organic? Are you kidding me? God. It's awful. I think milk is disgusting. I mean, it's for baby cows, guys.
Baby cows. Moo.
If you're a baby cow, drink plenty of milk from a cow.
Yeah.
Yes. Pus. Read about it. You guys need to go online and read about acceptable amounts of pus. Just like in a city water system, they will tell you there's an acceptable level of coliforms. That's fecal bacteria in your water. There are acceptable levels of how much E. coli can be in your water.
Goodness me.
Okay. I have a well, and I'm thankful. And our well water comes up, and it's filtered, and it's softened, and even that, we're very careful with our water supply. And should you be drinking whole milk? Heavens, no! Yeah. Don't drink milk from a cow. No. Don't drink it from animals.
And yes, you can use non-cow milks in tea and coffee. The different ones go, it won't be the same colour, but it's absolutely lovely. In fact, I stopped drinking milk about 3.5 years ago. And I actually like oat milk or almond milk or hazelnut milk in a coffee more than I ever liked it. Even when I hadn't given it up, I actually liked it better.
You ready for a mind blower? You ready for a mind blower?
Go on then.
If you drink cow milk proportionately to the amount of cow's milk you drink, you increase your risk of osteoporosis.
Gosh, that is ironic, isn't it?
They tell you to drink milk and lots of it to avoid osteoporosis, but the producers and the scientists know that if you drink more, the more you drink, the more likely you are to get osteoporosis. It's not good for you. If you eat spinach and you eat greens, you get tons more calcium than you do from a cow's milk.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's just so. I mean, half the reason we're doing these chats is because, loads of you have been doing what you have learned and what you have been told is the right thing to do. And, the trouble is we haven't been told the right thing to do. Like drink cow's milk, more calcium, healthy kids, a glass, and this chocolate's got a glass and a half of full milk in it. Give it to your kids. It's healthier chocolate than the other chocolate. I don't think so. But we were told. I think you might have had this product called Sunny D. It was an orange juice.
It was sugar.
Yeah, yeah. It was fortified with so-called, I was going to say vegetables and minerals then. Minerals and vitamins. And it was deemed to be really healthy. So parents started buying this drink for their kids, and it was just loaded full of E numbers, stuff that would get kids literally stuck on the ceiling. You couldn't get them down. They were just like running around. And it was full of sugar. It was just horrendous. In fact, it was taken off the market, wasn't it? I think they actually went bust. But we all thought back then that it was a healthier drink. I mean, I didn't even have kids then, and I've never drunk squash. I don't like squash. It was all too sickly for me.
The advertising. It was the advertising was amazing. The Sunny D advertising was amazing.
Yeah.
It was.
So you, at that time, we all believed what we saw on the telly. We believed what we heard on the radio. We believed what we read. And we're a little bit more savvy now. We just like, Nutella. You can't give your kid a better breakfast than Nutella. And it's just like, what? I mean, really? Just like, really? And it's allowed on the television, like the people who go, you can't say that because it's not, it's got a hazelnut in it. Whoopee-doo. It's got a hazelnut in it. Do you know what else it's got in it? Palm oil and a load of ingredients I can't even read. And I wanted to actually look this up today.
But it's highly processed.
Yeah, it's just processed. And they've just downgraded the amount of cacao in it and changed it to have some more palm oil, and the colour changed, if any of you know. My son eats it like it's going out.
I want Kelly Corby has mentioned that he drinks milk and he's no problem with drinking 2%. Look, milk is full of animal protein that your body doesn't need. You can get an autoimmune response in your body to drinking milk, cow's milk. If you like the taste and go get yourself some soy milk or some almond milk, or there's lots of these imitation milks that, in my opinion, taste better anyway.
They taste better.
They're much better. They hold in the refrigerator longer. They don't spoil. You can get it with a little dash of vanilla. They're fantastic, and you can use it just like you would cow's milk in your recipes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll take a little almond milk and I'll get some real healthy granola, like in a big bag, and I'll do like a little breakfast with granola and almond milk, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, you can make porridge with it.
Yeah, you can make anything you want out of it. There's no reason to drink milk from a cow, for crying out loud. Who came up with this idea anyway?
We're the only animal on the planet that drinks the breast milk of another species.
It's so silly.
When you look at it like that, it's like, hello.
Potter64 is recommending rice milk. I like the rice milk too.
Rice milk is lovely.
Oat milk is also very good. These are all imitation milks. They're made from grains and nuts, and they're delicious, and they're safe.
Lovely. Oat milk's lovely. Absolutely delicious. So someone's saying soya milks. There's two schools of thought with soya milk. It can mess with your particularly women with their hormones, because
if you have a concern about soy, then don't eat soy. It's easy. You don't have to eat soy. There's lots of other alternatives. I eat soy. It doesn't cause me any problems. Lots of people around the world live on very high soy diets, and they don't have hormonal problems. A lot of stuff that you see about soy is been discovered in petri dishes and test tubes. That doesn't mean it actually acts that way in your body. Yeah. However, if you feel that way about soy, then leave it out. There are lots of other choices.
Tracy was saying she enjoys it. I know my father has it with his cereal every morning as well, because he's stopped drinking milk in his cereal because he's trying to get his cholesterol down. Not that he's really got very high cholesterol. It's like 1 mark above normal, and he's given up loads of stuff, which is good because he's much more healthy now. Chai tea soya latte. Well, if you're not having a dairy in there, go for it, I would say. I love chai tea. It's absolutely delicious. I, in fact, I had a chai tea protein shake. I use protein shakes. Protein shake is my go-to ready meal. It's kind of like I just stick some nut milk, Cashew. I just absolutely love cashew, so I only buy that now.
Cashew milk. There's cashew milk too.
Cashew milk. It's gorgeous.
Hey, I want to answer one real quick for Kathy P. She said, why isn't there more talk about magnesium for doctors? It's required for be able to make calcium available to the body. Magnesium affects everything in your body. I think I completely agree. Magnesium is not something that we find as readily available in the standard American diet. If you're eating a whole food plant-based diet, you're not going to have as big an issue with magnesium, but if you're worried about it, get yourself a daily multivitamin. I put magnesium in my essentials. I think most daily multivitamins have some magnesium. And one of the 7 top ingredients that help your body deal with energy and glucose at the cellular level is magnesium, which is why it's one of the primary ingredients in Meta 7. So if you're asking me about magnesium, I'm on your side. If you're going to ask me why they don't teach more, well, I can tell you that there's not enough education about nutrition and diet and health and lifestyle in medical school in general. There's not a lot of incentive. I make my living by people who stay sick. If you get well, I don't get paid. So figure that out across the board. When you have hundreds of thousands of physicians out there, if you got well, how would they get paid? Because that's not how our system works. What I would much prefer everybody get healthy, and I could get myself a job driving a truck and see the country or something. Okay, so if you all get healthy, if all my patients, I give them the option. I say, look, you can change your diet dramatically, and you won't need these medications. But if you want to keep eating cheeseburgers and steak and chicken fried steak, and you want to eat French fries, and you want to eat your ice cream on the weekends, and you want to do it, then you're going to need to take these 4 pills. I'll take the pills, doc. I'm not doing that. Okay, see you in 3 months, or I'll see you in 6 months. I give them the option.
Yeah.
I'm not ignorant about the subject, but I've made a concerted effort to educate myself about it.
Well, you see, I think that's brilliant that you actually give your patients the option, because I have never in 54 years been asked what my diet is. What do you eat? I've never been asked that. I've never been, I've never been given advice on on that. I'm, glad that I'm quite savvy myself. Tammy is asking what my opinion is on taking daily vitamins and probiotics. A daily multivitamin is a fantastic idea, and that's something that Dr. Gilmore also advocates. I am absolutely 1 billion% on taking a probiotic daily. Absolutely. That is what, that is the key thing that has got rid of all my menopause symptoms. I don't ache anymore. I don't creak anymore. I'm not stiff anymore. I have my stamina back. I have my strength back. I can now do anything except pee over a 3-foot wall. I'm absolutely certain of that. I am the strong, my mind is agile, absolutely. And that was before I went vegan. So a probiotic is something that I really, really believe in. I believe if you get your gut working properly, like a well-oiled machine, like a fine-tuned racehorse, it can go to work renewing your skin cells, improving your hair and your skin, and so you look better on the outside, and getting more nutrients from your diet, working well, producing more serotonin is produced in your gut. So if your gut isn't working very well, it's no wonder you're feeling miserable. And people who eat a poor diet, are very often not feeling very happy as well. So I absolutely advocate probiotics. I use an incredibly good one that works all the way through the gut. You have to be very careful with probiotics, because most of the ones you buy in the stores do not work. They get killed by your stomach acid or the temperature of your body. So if you want some advice on the one that I use, you can message me. If you're on Facebook, send me a messenger or stick a message down here in the comments of the video, not in the live feed, because it's impossible to find them. So just go onto it and actually type a comment, and I'll get back to you. I'm a real believer in probiotics. I think they're just, I wish everyone in the world would just take one every day, and I think everybody would feel a lot better, straight away. That was my thing. I absolutely love that. Also, we've got some talk about making smoothies and protein shakes. I think this is a fabulous idea. As I said, my go-to fast food is stick some nut milk in my blender, 2 scoops of protein shake, blend, drink.
But you're using a vegan protein, right?
Oh,
I mean,
gosh,
you're using
yeah.
a plant protein. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pea, cranberry, and rice protein.
There you go.
So,
and that's important because most of the protein that's out there is whey protein or milk protein.
No, that's terrible. Don't have that. The whole whey, the whole dairy, that's the whole food coma thing. No, I use a vegan. All my supplements are vegan, and I do use supplements. I really believe in supplements because I don't know when I go into the supermarket and I buy some tomatoes and they look beautiful yesterday, and then I put them in my fridge and suddenly one of them is mouldy, and you're like, how did I not spot that? And it's like, how long has the food been on the shelf in the supermarket? How long has it been stored, gas stored? When was it harvested? Because I know absolutely for a fact the potatoes that the housewife thinks are new potatoes in this country are not new potatoes. They're last year's potatoes. I have a friend who's a farmer, and he used to grow potatoes for Walker's Crisps, or potato chips for those of you not in this country. It's our main brand. It's like our leading brand of potato chip. So I know a lot about farming and what goes on and how long they store our food before they, potatoes are stored for up to a year in a shed with a fan blowing on them. So, so I don't trust the food that I buy. I don't trust how fresh it is. I don't trust how many nutrients are in it. I don't know if they're absolutely perfect, all identical tomatoes have had too much GMO in them. I don't know because it's not on the label. I never buy the packaged ones. I always choose my own and put them in a bag and weigh them because I don't want all that plastic packaging either. So I always take supplements and additives because then I know absolutely 100% sure that I'm getting everything that I need. So I'm a great believer in supplements, and Dr. Gilmore recommends using a multivitamin. And in fact, I know a lot of you know that I've just started taking the Meta 7. And Wink has as well. Wink's still playing with his guitar. He's just coming with it. Is the third pizza gone in?
Yeah.
Excellent, right. It seems that all the teenage boys have been fed upstairs. Yeah. So that's I just wanted to talk about that because there were some questions about that. Cooking and baking. People are talking about different, coconut milk in a can is the one for cooking Thai green something or other. It's a proper, it's like, it'll be in a carton like milk. It's too, I guess you could just add water to the one in the tin. It's a bit too concentrated, that one. Stevia, yes, is a good sweetener. You would agree with that, wouldn't you, Jack?
I would definitely. There's maltodextrose. There's some others that are really good, but stevia, I think, is an outstanding sweetener. And I think they make a Coca-Cola Life product that's like half Splenda, half stevia. Yeah. It comes in a bottle with a greenish label. It's very interesting, and it's really got an interesting taste to it.
Yeah, it is. I've got Mrs. O is asking Dr. Gilmore, is Meta 7 like a multivitamin? I don't think it is, right?
No, it's not an A to Z multivitamin. It is a very specific combination of ingredients that are designed to enhance how the body handles energy and glucose at the cellular level. It is an energizer, and people take it for energy and focus, and it works very well for that. I have a lot of people that have medical illnesses that have taken it because they feel, or still take it because they feel like it helps them feel better despite their illnesses, although it was never created for that. So everybody's response to it's a little bit different, but most people do feel a lot more energetic and a lot more focused, and they're able to get more things done. People that normally need naps in the afternoons and things like that, they find that with Meta 7 they no longer need that. So it is not. And I can also say that a lot of type 2 diabetics see an improvement in their A1C when they take Meta 7 because, again, it works at the cellular level to help the body deal better with glucose, with insulin insensitivity. So it does help in that direction. Although I can't legally tell you that it can be used for that. I can tell you that it should help you feel better and that it is safe, but it is not a multivitamin replacement. In fact, right on the label I put on there, it is designed to be taken along with a multivitamin every day. And so I take my essential multivitamin, I take my Meta 7, and I take my turmeric, and whatever the DW happens to throw in with my vitamins in the morning I get. I'm not always sure what I'm getting. But I no longer take the fish oil, like I used to, because since I'm not eating animal products, I don't need to up my omega-3s. My omega-3s are fantastic now, so that's not necessary for me anymore. So there you go.
Okay, yes, Meta 7 is going to be available in the UK because I am going to distribute it, and I was going to be actually working on that when
So here's a message
from
Linda. She just typed in that with diabetes, and she started Meta 7. It did help with her A1C.
Yeah, earlier actually I had somebody talking about, I think it might have been on part 1, about how much weight she'd lost since she started taking Meta 7. So that was something that somebody said earlier. I think that was, I can't remember now. Somebody with a purple icon. I can remember the colour of the icon next to the comment. So what else? Right, what about your protein? What do you add to your meals? I don't add anything to my meals. Shame. What's that?
Shame. I've never had a patient come into my clinic with a protein deficiency. You do not have to add protein if you go whole food plant-based. That is a misconception. And it is a common question. When I tell people I only eat plants and vegetables, that almost always universally the next question is, well, where do you get your protein? Sue eats a whole food plant-based diet. She's eating fruits and vegetables. She doesn't need to add protein. What she's telling you is that there are days when she's in a hurry, she mixes up a protein drink as a meal substitute, which is perfectly fine. Yeah. But the protein that she puts in there is plant-based. Yeah. I believe that's what you said.
Yeah, it's pea. It's made of, my protein shake is a vegan one, and it's pea, cranberry, and rice. That's what pea protein is, there's been loads of research about it because it's the most easily digested form of protein for the human body.
And that's great if you want to do a meal substitute, but I want to be sure that people understand that if they eat a whole food plant-based diet, they do not need to supplement protein. Yeah. You're doing it as a meal replacement.
Yeah,
and
that's
perfectly fine.
Yeah, but also I'm adding nuts to it. I'm adding, maybe I'll add some watermelon to it. So it's like a protein smoothie. But even Wink, when he's being lazy, he's just like, he'll be having a lot of protein shakes because he'll be down the shed making his cigar box guitar all the time, and food will just be that thing that he's not even interested in. He'll come in and he'll go, oh, I can't be bothered to cook now, it's nearly time for bed, I'll have a protein shake. And I just go, yeah, I know that everything that's gone in his mouth is healthy.
Karen Crow just put a message in. She said we should get our protein the same place as the cows get it, and that's from plants. And sometimes when I'm in a jovial mood with my patients, they'll ask me, well, where do you get your protein? I look at them and I say, I get it the same place the cows do. At the middle of the night, we sneak up on another cow and we kill it and we eat it, and that's where we get our protein.
You're so naughty! You're naughty. Yes, Sal, non-cow milk can be used in coffee and tea and...
Of course.
All of these nut milks, you can use them in any way that you would use cow's milk in. You can make, desserts with it. You can, make porridge with it. You can do all of that with it. Then, oh my God, I just had a positive tick by open season would eat people. Yes, people do eat deer. It's called venison. It's very popular in the UK. They do eat it. People eat deer. Is it positive with Lyme's disease? I'm not quite sure what you're saying there. Hang on a sec. Zucchini squash. Oh, yeah. My favourite stir fries, zucchini squash, yellow squash, mushrooms, Asian green beans and coconut milk. It's the kind you can buy in a tin. Oh, that sounds lovely. And do you know what? I'm having exactly that. I've bought myself some Thai green curry paste, which is vegan. I haven't had to go and buy a vegan one. It is vegan. It doesn't have any animal products in it. And I absolutely love curry. I love Thai food. So What I'm going to be doing when we come offline here is I'm going to be chopping up a whole storm of vegetables, just any vegetables, and I've got lots of them in my fridge, and I'm going to be making myself a Thai green curry with them. That sounds lovely, Leanne, absolutely lovely, what you're cooking. Yeah, the probiotic that I use is Arbonne Digestion Plus. And if you want any more information, Potter, about that, send me a message if you're not friends with me on Facebook, and if you want to join me on Facebook, it's Sue, S-U, then put a space in, then type V and I'll come up. In fact, all you have to type in Google is S-U and a space, and my name comes straight up. My son told me that. He Googled me the other day. So you can find me on Facebook, or put a message in the messages of this, not in the live feed chat. Okay, and I can send you a link. What are you doing, darling?
I'm going to get some food.
You're going to buy yourself some food?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going for a Big Mac. My husband's going to buy a Big Mac.
No.
Oh, I have an interesting question here, Sue. This is one. It's from Kathy P. She said, "My thoughts on peanut butter." She said she doesn't eat it often, but likes the Smucker's Natural. Is it the only one I can find without any sugar in it? My thoughts on peanut butter. Peanuts, and I think I'm probably due for a break because I can't remember the name of the fungus. There is a fungus that grows on peanuts that's highly carcinogenic. Aflatoxin, that's it. Aflatoxin is a fungus that grows on peanuts that is one of the most potent carcinogens known to man, okay? Now, if you eat peanuts, like you get a jar with peanuts from Planters, these are going to be the pick of the peanuts that are coming down the conveyor belt. They're going to pick the nicest nuts, and they're going to put them in that jar, okay? So let me ask you a question. What do you think they do with the rest of the nuts that aren't so pretty? That's right. That's what goes into your peanut butter. Keep that in mind, okay? So, in general, if you're going to eat a nut, peanut should be at the bottom of the list. Tree nuts, like walnuts, should be at the top of the list. They are the healthiest nuts. Okay? Peanuts are easy to grow. You can do lots of things with them. They're highly processed. Peanut butter is probably better than pork chops. But that's about where I'd leave it. Okay?
I have a big, like a whole food organic one.
There you go.
It's by Pit and Nut.
There you go. I would agree. I would say if you're going to eat an organic product, and peanut should be the one.
Yeah, that kind of clicks in from that before, doesn't it? And when you look on the tin and it says ingredients, it says peanuts, full stop. It doesn't say peanuts, sugar, this, that, the other, this funny unpronounceable name, which is the Sunpat peanut butter that my husband gets. It's just got loads of stuff in it, but he's very stubborn, Wink. What can I say? He's stubborn, man.
Now, if you like peanut butter, but you want a safer alternative, get yourself almond butter.
Oh, that's
They make
gorgeous.
almond butter that's absolutely delicious. I keep some in the refrigerator. When you get it, you're going to think it's awfully disgusting because what happens is they take almonds, they grind them up into this paste, and they put it in a jar, and that's all you get. And when you open it up, it has separated out. It'll have this much oil at the top, and then you've got all of this, the what's left over from the nut at the bottom. You have to get like a butter knife and get in there and really stir that up and really mix it well. Once you've done that, now you've got a good nut in a buttery form that you can use for a sandwich or put on your toast or put on your bagel or whatever healthy thing you're eating, a celery or whatever. Then when you're done and you wipe it all down, you put the lid on, turn it upside down
Yes.
in the refrigerator. Okay? And then it tends to keep its homogeneity, all right, or whatever the word is. It tends to stay smoother, all right. Then when you take it out the next time you turn it up, you open it up and you just get it and you put it on and then you put your deal and you put it back up in there, okay. You really have to go through this process when you first open one. But if you really like peanut butter, but you want a safer alternative, go with the almond butter and look for the ingredients. It should just say almonds. Like Sue said, full stop. That should be it. Just almonds. You don't have to have all these oils and everything else that they put in to make, Jif and Skippy and all this other stuff. And almonds are a much better nut, okay?
Yeah, it is.
So Kathy, if you've had almond butter and it's too sweet or rich, then don't use as much of it.
Hazelnut butter is also very nice, and cashew butter is.
Yeah.
And you can also get pumpkin seed butter.
Yes. Uh-huh.
That's really delicious. It is green, which looks a bit weird on your toast, but it's really nice.
Yep.
And I tell you one of the things that I've been having, because although I did my first fast on Thursday, I started going, right, absolutely no junk, no, just get that for me as well, I'll have it, wink. Just really going back to Whole Foods, because I had fallen off the wagon a bit, is I have been chopping up a couple of avocados with some tomatoes, bit of garlic, squeeze of lemon juice, mashing it all together and putting it on homemade bread.
That sounds good.
Breakfast. Oh, absolutely divine. Lots of cracked black pepper on the top. This is me with
try a little bit of cilantro on there.
Cilantro.
Try a little bit of cilantro on there.
Cilantro is a herb that we have a different name for.
Okay.
Come on, some of you guys, you're going to know what cilantro is in English. In English.
Hey!
Well, in England. Well, you call them bell peppers. We just call them peppers, and then we call them courgettes, and you call them zucchini. And you call them eggplants, and we call them aubergines. So cilantro is.
It's an herb. You're right.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's a herb, isn't it? But I don't know. I can't remember what.
It's got a tangy flavor to it with the mix you just suggested.
Coriander. It's coriander.
Oh, okay.
Coriander, which I absolutely love. Absolutely love.
All right.
Agave nectar, that is also a good sugar.
Sure, it's natural.
That's a really good one. Basically, you don't want any processed sugar. All that stuff is just messes with your head. It messes with your body. It's just not good. You want raw cane sugar is better. Than all the other things. And stevia is really good, as we said before, and agave nectar is also good.
Okay, so stevia is great because it's calorie free, but you know what else is a good sugar? Sugar.
Yeah.
Regular table sugar
raw cane sugar, unprocessed, unbleached, unrefined.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
You don't want to eat too much of it. Obviously, you don't want to drink too much alcohol, but the body deals with these nutritionless calories the same way. So alcohol and sugars, your body deals with them the same way. They're just energy sources. So there's no reason you can handle. Your body's designed to handle carbohydrates. It's designed to store, use, and to handle carbohydrates in many forms. So those of us who are trying to eat healthy and yet look for alternatives to higher calorie foods, well, then you would avoid cane sugar, and you'd look more for stevia and things like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep.
Somebody's mentioned putting dukkha. I'm trying to, I don't know what dukkha is. No idea. I have loads of, can we have a cup of coffee with stevia? Yes, you can.
Of course.
Yes, you can. Do I know what aquafaba is? No, I have no idea what aquafaba is, or the other thing that you suggested, magava. I don't know what that is either. Yeah, coriander. It definitely was coriander, the herb. Dukkha, you'll have to let me know what dukkha is. Switch out the lemon with the lime. Yep, lime with it's really a guacamole I'm making.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm just making a guacamole. type thing. I love avocados. It's a really, really healthy fat. And yes, we do need fat. We do need
there
fat.
Are
Our
essential
body
fatty
loves
acids.
fat.
Yes.
You need fat to burn fat, but not animal fat.
Right.
You know, fats are healthy. So this fat-free everything. Oh, don't eat an avocado. They're really fattening. That's old money. That's old speak. Chuck that thought process out. Avocados are a fabulous fat to have. And they make a great dressing as well, like a great creamy dressing you can, make with them.
Potter64 says aquafaba is the juice from cans of beans. Whip it, it's a cream like cannellini. I think we're going to have to get Potter64 online with us, get her, because she's been at this game for a lot longer than we have. She's got a lot of info.
How long have you been a vegan, Potter? Did she tell you on yours?
She's the one that was the vegetarian for 9 years and then became vegan 6 years ago.
Right,
remember? Yeah.
She's on my channel now, and you were talking to her for ages, and then I went, oh, so she's on my channel now.
Yeah.
Pistachios, you can get, Kira, lovely Kira's on. Kira, you can get pistachio nut butter as well. Imagine that, spreading pistachio nuts on your toast in the morning. Yummy, yummy. I had some
Or how about putting it on celery?
Ooh.
What a great snack.
That is a great snack. That would be a great.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
One. And you're absolutely right about the nuts that are just nuts and are not messed about with anti-caking agents and anti-separating agents and whatever things they put in. You mix them up to start with and then you turn them upside down. I was like, yes, that one, because I got that tip off the internet.
So there's one more question, and I want to answer one more question, and then I want to kind of end our discussion for the day, because I think 2 hours is enough. And you and I, we have to be careful that we don't get burned out. We have lives too. So as much as we want to help, I'm glad we got a chance to do this today at a time frame that was more friendly for your UK fans, and so I'm glad we got this chance. Somebody asked me what my opinion on diet sodas is. Her sister drinks lots of them. In general, diet sodas are not a healthy option. It would not fall under a whole food plant-based item at all. That having been said, I enjoy a diet soda about once a day, sometimes twice. I look for Splenda as opposed to aspartame. I think aspartame is very hard on the body. I think it leads to pain problems. People that drink lots of aspartame products have back pain and other pain issues. So your body can't handle that aspartame very well. They make soft drinks now that have other sweeteners like Splenda and stevia too. The other problem with diet sodas is they're loaded with salt, loaded with sodium. And if you already have a problem with your kidneys, if you already have a problem with fluid retention, you should really limit your sodium intake. And so diet soft drinks should be off your menu. That all having been said, if you're going to make a choice between drinking a half a six-pack of real Coke versus a half a six-pack of Coke Zero, then I would say go with the Coke Zero. It's going to be better for your body. I'd much rather you have a little bit of Coke Zero, drink some water, and call it a day. That would be the healthier choice, okay? So I hope I answered that question. Sue, do you have any other last thoughts before we call it a day?
No, I'm just looking at all the questions here. Yes, Meta 7 is available in Australia. Go to meta7.com. Dr. Gilmore will ship it out to you. Oils to cook in, a good staple one is light olive oil. There's the heavy extra virgin olive oil, which is kind of a green colour. That's it's a little bit overpowering to cook with sometimes. So a light olive oil is my go-to staple. And when I want to switch it up a bit, I will use like macadamia nut oil. Avocado oil is gorgeous. Bit of sesame seed oil is really good. I do not use corn oils. I do not use vegetable oils. I don't think they're good fats. To use coconut oil is fantastic, adds a lovely flavour to things. So they're the oils that I cook with, and I switched them out 3-4 years ago in my family. So
that's good. Another suggestion is, instead of avocado oil, a few little slices of avocado works.
That would be very nice. That would be very nice.
You mentioned some other oils, same things. What were your other oils?
Macadamia nut oil.
How about a few thinly sliced macadamia nuts instead of the oil? Works the same way. What was your next one?
It's just what people cook things in. So
right.
if you're going to stir fry some vegetables.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So you need an oil in there. So my base oil that I would cook with is that, but also I want to infuse my light olive oil with rosemary and garlic and different things, and make my own flavoured oils.
So use them lightly. If you're going to use an oil, a vegetable oil or plant oil of any kind, you want to use it lightly. They're not considered whole food. You have to be very careful. Those are processed. That does not occur naturally. It's not found in nature that way. That is processed. So while it is certainly tons healthier than animal-based oils, I will completely agree. And I realize that some recipes you're going to want to use a little of that. Try to keep it as little as possible. But remember, you're dealing with a very, very high calorie product. And so if weight and is an issue, then you want to cut those way back. Okay, guys? Here somebody says they fry in water. The other thing I was going to throw out, you can actually get vegetable broth, that some people, can fry in, or use it as a base for vegetables and things like that. So there are a lot of choices out there. Maybe we can talk more about that next time. I'm going to let you guys go. Sue, as always, wonderful sharing this discussion with you today. And your fans are awesome. And thanks to everybody that came on to listen for us today. Our next scheduled event is going to be Monday, 6 o'clock, right? U.S. Central Time. So it'll be a bit later for our folks across the pond.
Yeah, midnight UK time.
Right. But we're definitely going to have to get Potter 64 more involved, because she has tons and tons of information, and we want to share a lot of that. She's got lots and lots of good stuff. So
absolutely brilliant. We would love to invite you on.
Hopefully she'll join in our little vegan club here and continue to contribute lots of great information. So my heart to all of you, love you all, and have a super rest of your weekend. And probably we'll see you all hopefully 6 o'clock on Monday, if we don't have anything else interesting that happens between now and then, and you just never know.
You never know. You never know. And thanks all for tuning in. Sorry if we haven't answered all your questions. Come on, and we'll do our best to answer them all next time. So lots of love to you lovely lovelies, and I will see you on Monday.
All right.
Okay,
bye for now.